everybody, this is RT, this is KT. We're in TBTC, the home of the Tsunami Bar, and this is the initial installment of our new blog series. You'll find it on tsunamibarsports.com, and we're gonna have a bunch of information on there, a lot of content. We'll have 4 different categories that you can find different content on, so you don't have to kind of scroll through a whole bunch of stuff to find what interests you. We'll have tips and training information. We'll have nutritional information in one category. We'll have stuff on products, so you can find out about the Tsunami Bar and all the Comfort Grip products and all the stuff that we work with around here. You'll be able to find Where's the Pro. That's our PGA professional who is out on tour. His son is playing on the PGA Tour, and he's going to give you information inside and outside the ropes. So you're going to get all kinds of good stuff really pertaining to golf if that's what you're interested in. There'll be segments on that. And then we'll have random stuff, whatever might flow out of this mouth from time to time. And this guy right here, he's got more stories. We were training partners back in the early 80s. Mr. South Carolina in 1984. I'm better looking, but look, I'll tell you what, this guy had a body and a half. I'm gonna put some pictures up on that so you'll be able to see how badass this guy was right here. But today, in our initial installment, we're gonna talk about how do you properly get under a squat bar. Now this is a level 1 Tsunami bar, but it doesn't make any difference if it's a Tsunami bar or a steel bar. How do you get under a bar properly to squat? KT's gonna take it over from here. Big guy, give it a shot.
Here we go. Well, so in the early 80s, there was a couple of great strength coaches in the nation. One was a guy named Dave Passanella. He was at Georgia Tech University. He was filming people squat with video cameras on the Power Clean platform and the squat racks in the early 80s. That was unheard of. I know video's everything now, but back then nobody was doing it. So he's the guy that actually came in and said, let's consider squatting a little differently in a way that might be more anatomically friendly. And what he meant by that had a lot to do with sagittal plane or spine angle, and then a lot of what most people do when they get to the gym. So, and basically, Robbie's gonna film here. I'm gonna give you the normal standard of what most people do in the gym when they address the squat bar. And remember, your setup is really related to how successful you're gonna be in the squat. So the average person will kind of get his good grip or her good grip on the bar, and they'll start to bend over at the waist as they're approaching up under there. By the time they get 1 foot or 2 feet up under the bar, they've already got this angle from their hips up to their upper shoulders. So as the weight is compounded heavier and heavier as far as workload goes, they already have this bend forward in their spine. David suggested that we get a lot more vertical and a lot more neutral in our spine setting. So what I like to see people do is that once you get your spacing of your grip, walk up and actually address the bar with your chest. If I drop down and come straight up, now you can see I'm much more erect and I still have that good positioning of the bar on my shoulders. What happens when I start to come out the squat is that now I have a neutral spine. Neutral spine is not anterior tilt, where most of you are when you start to squat, not posterior tilt, where your hips are already in, but in a neutral spine, I have no contraction in my lower back, I have no contraction in my hip flexors, so now my pelvis can rotate, is right at the proper squat as I go down to a squat. That can't happen if you squat out of anterior tilt. Again, showing you anterior tilt, I'll go through what I see every day and have seen for 40 years in the gym. People will address it from out here, start off with all this forward lean and the spine angle, so when they set up, they're in anterior tilt. In anterior tilt, my lower back is already contracting, my quadriceps labor, my hip flexors are already tight. So I know I'm gonna break my pelvis early instead of breaking my pelvic rotation later and letting my quads do the significant part of the work. That's your first lesson on proper setup for squat to neutral spine and sagittal plane.
Man, oh man, how about that? Is that a training tip or what? You guys put that in motion and I guarantee you'll get a result. Check back with us, tsunamibarsports.com. We're out.